website called All About the Tea.
He told All About the Tea that during the fight,
Hey teacups, it's your girl Monica. Welcome back to the All About the Tea channel. Joining me tonight are Teacup affiliates, Schoolboy. Hey Schoolboy. Hey. We got Plez in the building. Hey Plez.
Hey y'all, how are you today?
Good. I see you coordinating, honey. You got the lip color matching the blouse, the sweatshirt.
My hoodie. Yes.
I like it. I like it.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. So first and foremost, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I need you to hit that subscribe button down below. And if you're already subscribed to the channel, go on and bang that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the piping hot tea that we serve on this channel. Teacups. On the agenda tonight, we are recapping Love and Marriage Huntsville. Martell's side baby breaks his mother's heart. So sad. And Miss Wanda and Marsau get into it. Listen, okay, this was quite an entertaining episode. All right, hey, Plez. What she said? Hey, Plez, what is the lip color of the night? Charcoal? Huh? Okay, girl.
Girl, people trying to be funny.
They trying it, child.
I see you, boo. Don't be a hater all your life, honey.
Mm-hmm.
You too can look like this.
Oh, all right then. Okay, all right. Don't play with Plez. You got the right one. Yeah. All right, y'all. So the episode picks up with Maurice visiting Marsau at his home after his car accident. Maurice brings Marsau up to speed about Martell spilling tea on their camping trip about his side baby. While he doesn't go into much detail, he does say Marsau and Martell should have a sit down and clear the air. Marsau brings up the 47 acres, and he's not quite sure Martell's head is in the game. Let's just comment on that little scene really fast. Schoolboy, what are your thoughts?
Maurice was messy as hell. It's like two girls catty. Oh, did you hear he said something about his side baby, but then you don't want to tell him. Well, what was the point in bringing it up? If you wasn't going to say nothing, you could have kept that to yourself and just talked about the 47 acres. You know, it's just a little, they don't know that the 47 acres is just like not on the table anymore because now he's got this divorce and now they've got to divide assets. So, it's going to come down to who's going to actually control that when it's all said and done. But that was some shady mess. Like two little schoolgirls talking.
Oh, I'm sorry. Bishop won't be joining us tonight. He is with family, but he'll be back tomorrow. We'll see him tomorrow. What are your thoughts, Plez? Yeah, they were like too gossipy. He knew if the cameras wasn't there, he would tell them everything. Trying to act like
when they left.
Right. Exactly. Plez, what was your thoughts on that scene?
I was actually happy that Maurice, even if it was just for the show, he kept his lips tight. I was like, I like that. I like friends like that. I don't tell anybody else's tea. When they want to let you know, they will let you know, because I told y'all last week, I don't think Martell would have been that forthcoming if Marsau had been there. And why do all these people's names start with an M? I think I'm just realizing this. Martell, Marsau, Maurice, getting everybody mixed up, child. But I don't think he would have been that forthcoming. Marsau, I'm telling y'all, Marsau is so messy. He is the class clown. He is the bully. He is all of these things. It is also interesting to me that his blood brother calls him his fraternity line name, like in regular conversation. When he walked up into that house, "What's up, Solo?" I'm like, y'all really call this man that every day?
I guess so. Yeah.
The cues have always been very interesting to me, child. But yeah.
I like Marsau. I find him to be very funny, a comedian.
He is.
He's a class clown, like you said. So over messy, just messy class clown. So over at Melody's, she's in the bathroom educating her kids about their hair textures. She explains they're beautiful, black babies, and they have beautiful hair and should be proud. Mel has Wanda and Martell's fight at Jalen's party on her mind. Mel is not happy with Wanda attacking her kids. Apparently, Miss Wanda attacked her children's hair on social media. So she calls Tisha to share her disappointment and explains that was the reason she left Jalen's birthday dinner early. Tisha is like, huh? That's odd. My mother would never. Not my mother. So Tisha invites Mel to a Brown Girl event to spotlight and honor our melanin, celebrate our melanin. That was funny, I'm going to go ahead and play the video, though, of Miss Wanda, indeed, talking about Martell and Mel's kids. But before I do that, Tisha reminds me of me. I'm like that with my kids at the school call and be like, listen, Daquan was acting up. He's doing this. He's doing that. Daquan? Not my Daquan. Huh? My Daquan? Knowing damn well that's my Daquan. But when they get home, let me tell you something. They get the business. They do. They do. Before I play the video, schoolboy, sound off. What was your thoughts on that scene with Mel educating her kids and etc.?
That was cute. And then when she had to call Tisha, Letitia, I just, I'm tired of giving passes to Letitia Ash. Your mama is messy as hell. Your mama juvenile as hell. And your damn mama that said that. Come on now. Now you gonna tell me you don't follow your mama on social media? You didn't see that video? All of America saw that video. She needs to check her mama. This slow, but I'm not giving her the slow bus mess no more. You at some point, you got to say it got to register up here. I don't know. I just like, ma'am. Oh my God, I don't think my mother would ever do. Now you see how you and your mama and your husband get into it. Your mom would never, ma'am. Come on now, come on. Now the only time I can say, like, fine, keep it between the adults if you want to get into it with the adults. But why did you have to bring them kids into anything? That had nothing to do with nothing. The kids didn't have nothing to do with anything. Girl. And now this woman got to explain to her kids that their hair texture and who they are and to love themselves. Because Wanda out here being messy. Wanda act like she's still 16. Is she trying to relive the life she didn't have or something?
I don't know, child. Wanda's just a mess. Plez, what are your thoughts on that scene?
Well, for me, this is just always interesting in hearing you say what you said. This is why I tell people, knowing somebody's background, their childhood, all of that stuff is very important, and why they need to know it themselves to go through therapy, because I was raised very differently. Now, my mother would not necessarily, how some parents go to the other extreme of like the teacher is always right, but she was never the type of person that would say what players wouldn't do. If somebody called and said I did something, she was like, oh, that doesn't sound like her. That doesn't sound like her character, but I will definitely address it with her. So I think that's where I am, because when you go too far left or too far right, it leads to enabling. And that is what has happened to Wanda. She is a 55, 56-year-old woman who people have been making excuses and lying and covering for her whole life. And yes, schoolboy, she is very much in arrested development. That whole, what you about to show, like the whole thing reeks of high school little girls. And I really want her to get some other babysitter other than Wanda, because she is going to pour all of that toxicity into little Macy and Mila. They going to go to school and end up being teenagers fighting, fussing, and cussing because their grandma done poured all of that nonsense into their heads. Yes, little girls can be catty and pick on each other, but normal people know that this is normal, like human behavior and interaction. So yes, your children need to learn how to protect themselves. Yeah. But if you pour all of that into that into them too soon, they often become the bullies instead of the person that's being bullied, because kids hear that stuff. They pick up on that stuff. Macy and Mila probably wasn't even looking at them Malia and Mariah's hair. But now that they done heard their grandma talk about it, they gonna say, my hair longer than yours. All because of Wanda.
That's sad. You know, you really should not do that to kids so early and instill that type of character traits into children so early. It's just sad. Let me share my screen and we can look at exactly what Miss Wanda said. Okay, so there's no misconceptions here. We know exactly what she said. All right, can everyone see that?
We already talked about the party. I told Tisha and Marsau not to go. I don't care nothing about no kids. You're gonna have them kids just like you. Then they're gonna be hating on Mason and Mila when they get big. Hell to the no. Take your children to no birthday party, have my baby. Them girls hating on them. Get mad because their hair may be longer than yours. So you got a pretty face, better than you. No. Y'all can call it messy. Y'all can call it whatever y'all want to call it. But I'm keeping it real. Mama like daughter. Some babies good. He was sure. Yep. That they said the fruit gonna fall too far from the tree. That's true. But some trees got more better fruits on it, though. Oh my God. Bougie and Ghetto, both. I'm okay. That's what we already talked about the party. I told Tisha and Marsau not to go. I don't care nothing about no kids. You're gonna have them kids just like you. Then they're gonna be hating on Mason and Mila when they get big. Hell to the no. Take your children to no birthday party, have my baby. Them girls hating on them. Get mad because their hair may be longer than yours. So you got a pretty face, better than you. No. Y'all can call it messy. Y'all can call it whatever y'all want to call it. But I'm keeping it real. Mama like daughter. Some babies good. He was sure. Yep. That they said the fruit gonna fall too far from the tree. That's true. But some trees got more better fruits on it, though. Oh my God. Bougie and Ghetto, both. I'm okay. That's what we already talked about the party. I told Tisha and Marsau not to go. I don't care nothing about no kids.
All right, y'all.
You're gonna have them kids just like you.
I played it twice just so everyone can hear exactly what she said. So she attacked their hair, their looks, their pedigree, right? She says bad fruit on the tree. That's mean. That's very, very mean, uncalled for, Miss Wanda. You don't attack people's children. You just leave the kids out of it. Come on now. That's another level of petty I can't get with. Schoolboy, what are your thoughts on what Miss Wanda said? Was Martell justified in being as angry as he was?
Hell yeah. And she better be lucky that he wasn't no female, because most females would have whooped her from A to Z and wouldn't even have thought nothing of it. Wanda is absolutely ridiculous. And then Tisha don't feel something is wrong with her mother in the way that she talks to people. And this is why now I see why Kimmy gives her the energy she gives her, because Wanda purposely does this stuff to be messy and to be nasty. And she's one of those people that if she's miserable, everybody else got to be miserable. And that is one miserable old battle axe. I'm sorry, I'm calling her a battle axe. That woman, you got a man, a husband, and a boyfriend, and you got other stuff you need to be attended to, but you down here at this woman's house, all up in their business, taking up for your daughter, who's a grown woman, who also has arrested development mentally, because she can't be a woman enough to check you. Her husband got to come home and deal with you always all up in their business, putting things in his wife's mind that further pushes the narrative that the man is cheating. Now, I used to couldn't stand Marsau, but I understand now why Marsau is the way Marsau is. He got to be that way anytime he dealing with Tisha and he dealing with her ignorant ass mama. Because Wanda is ignorant, and I'm tired of folks giving her a pass on that. You have to hold people accountable. Wanda is wrong. Why are you talking about some kids' hair and hating? Kids don't know nothing about hate unless that is taught to them, damn it. They don't know nothing about none of that. They don't understand any of that. All they know is they are friends with those kids and they want to play with their friends. They don't sit up here and talk about each other's hair. They're friends. And this is where Wanda is gone and taking it to a whole nother level. She's letting this reality TV mess get her way up here and being messy in these scenes for Carlos King. And I understand you trying to catch your bag, ma'am, but you going about it the wrong way. And people like that don't never prosper in life, treating folks like that. Wanda is an absolute mess. Yeah. And if I was Marsau, I would be cheating on Tisha. I'm sorry. Because I would get tired of the mess, or I would pack up my ish and I would go. I would go, because it's either you're going to be your mama or it's going to be me. You need to make a decision, because when you get married, you cleave to your spouse. Your mother has nothing to do with that. And there needs to be a line drawn. And at this point, he need to go get a nanny, because she wouldn't be watching my kids. She would not be pouring that type of hate and negativity into my children. Wanda is a parasite. They said Cedric was a parasite on Bell Collective. No, Wanda is a parasite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Plaz, what are your thoughts on Wanda in that video? I'm like, it's my first time seeing it too, by the way. Shocked.
Yeah, I looked it up last week when they kept talking about it. But yeah, she is who we thought she is. Miserable, old, crotchety, just a complete. What actually, it's so ironic that everything she said in that video is her. She described herself to a T, like mother, like daughter. Sure is. Looks like you and Tisha to me. We want more better fruit. Well, first of all, I would want somebody who knows that more and better don't go together. You don't put like most pretties. Those things, that's incorrect English, and that's the problem you have now. You passed all your inferiority complexes, all the things that people teased you about. You passed that on to your daughter instead of getting your daughter help, teaching her how to be better, getting her proper speech therapy, doing things to actually better yourself. You can't focus on that because you're so focused on looks and little superficial crap that no one cares about. And it's because they both have arrested development. They're stuck at 16, 17. When girls, let's be real, girls can get vicious in high school. And so they are trying to attack prematurely. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to get ahead of the attack, which when you do that, when you don't heal from your traumas, you create problems that aren't even there. You make the problems because you speak them up. The adults, Martell and Melody and Tisha and Marsau, were trying to be the bigger people regardless of their individual problems, and let their kids be kids. That's why the children were invited to the birthday party. And I thought that was very big of them, because most parents honestly would say, hell no, you ain't going over there. And that's not cool, because the children don't understand. You know, we've been going around, Macy and Mila, all of our lives. Now, why are we not their friends? So I applauded them last year for not letting adult crap interfere with the children. And Wanda went right on social media and undermined all of the grown people actions because she's still stuck on being bitter and immature and petty. Even whoever her home girl, cousin, auntie, whoever that was in that house with her was telling her no. You could hear them in the background. Girl, no, that's them children. Leave them out of it. And she doesn't listen to anyone, which is why she will be old, bitter, and alone. And if Tisha don't stop, she gonna be over there with her. They can take care of each other like mother, like daughter. And if I was more so, my children, my girls would not be around that poison, because that's exactly what that is. Poison and toxicity. I again, and I can't even say it's not just the Deep South. I was like 12 years old working in a cafeteria, old cafeteria ladies who were like this, who would critique every little middle schooler coming through the cafeteria line. And children hear that. That's how kids go to school and get to fighting and fussing and cussing, because they done heard the grandma talk about what such and such mama doing with such and such daddy, or this little girl in her nappy hair. Children don't do that. They hear it from adults, just like we talk about racism. Kids don't grow up hating and disliking each other because of their skin color and because of this. They hear their parents, and it's a vicious cycle. And we are sadly watching this play out on national TV with Wanda.
Well, hopefully not. Hopefully it doesn't trickle down to the Scott children. Hopefully, Marsau can protect his children from Miss Wanda, because she really is out of control. She is. Simply Bree says, where can I watch the video? I just played it, my love. Just rewind this video. That's what we're commenting on, that video. We played it here. Learned behavior. Yeah. Oh my God. Is that defamation? No, that's just her opinion. No. It's just her opinion. But she talked about their looks. She talked about them being, low-hanging fruit, just bad fruit on the tree. Not all the fruit on the tree is good. I'm like, dang, like that is just a bit much, Miss Wanda. Seriously, you need to really, really do some self-reflection. Look in the mirror. Children, we're talking about children here. That's a bit much. She went way overboard. That should not be tolerated. And Marsau really needs to step in and maybe keep Miss Wanda away from his kids. Like Schoolboy said, hire a nanny, because she needs help. So over at the Scotts now, here's where things get juicy again, Miss Wanda. Over at the Scotts, Tisha is back home and is greeted by Marsau. He fills her in about his 5-car pileup accident. He explains that Wanda took the kids to Birmingham because they got on each other's nerves. Marsau says he felt like he was in a fight for his life with Miss Wanda. He explains that Wanda doesn't respect bedtimes and boundaries. And on top of that, she brought 3 kids with her and the babies cry all night. He tried to talk to her and things didn't go well. Marsau calls Wanda a bully. Then Wanda walks through the door with their kids. Wanda immediately confronts Marsau about his accident. She wants to know why he would go camping in his sports car instead of his raggedy truck. Marsau thinks Wanda wants him dead. And to his point, she was the first person to call the insurance company before he could to find out if he was alive. Then Wanda and Marsau get into it. Tisha commented they survived while she was gone. And Marsau says, that's by the grace of God, Tisha. Only by the grace of God. Wanda thinks he was distracted driving because he had another woman in the car. She accuses him of cheating and wants to know, he wants to know who hurt Wanda. Why does she act this way? Who hurt her? And what unresolved pain is she, deflecting on society? That's what he wants to know. Miss Wanda brings up Kimmy banning her from events. Marsau comments that Wanda is trying to drive a wedge in his marriage. Marsau is ready to show Wanda the door. Marsau tells Wanda to shake a bone, which means bye, girl. Just shake a bone and get out, okay? Be gone. At this point, Marsau should just, in my opinion, Marsau should just tell Tisha to shake a bone too, and right behind her mama. And because you know what? After the mama left, she turned into Wanda, questioning him about why would he drive a sports car to a camping trip, and alluding to the fact that maybe he is cheating. Goodness gracious, child. Schoolboy, sound off. What are your thoughts?
Girl, Wanda wouldn't have been in my house. Okay, Wanda wouldn't even got to be able to pull up in the driveway. You could drop my children off on the street. I will come get them. But you would not be allowed in my house. Wanda wouldn't have been allowed in my house a long time ago. He's a better man than me.
Yeah.
because I would have told her, look, it's either your mama or me. Who you screwing, me or your mama? You need to choose. Pick one, because we both can't make it. And I was here for him because that's some smart ass shit I would have said. So who hurt you? Who cut you? Because I'm tired of you bleeding on me. What, ma'am, what happened to you? You need to go seek some therapy. Do you need me to pay for the sessions? Because I will find you a doctor. Please get on up out of my house. Wanda is very miserable, and I'm telling you, Letitia better realize it ain't gonna be much longer, and he is gonna get his stuff. He gonna pack his raggedy duffel bag, and he gonna roll. And he gonna say, you know what? I'll pay the child support just to get rid of you. You and your mama can go. There was a point, and Wanda said, I ain't changing. So she done told you, this is who she is. She not finna change. So, ma'am, you either need to decide what you finna do. Then gonna add to that man why he didn't drive his raggedy truck. Ma'am, he could drive his other vehicles just because to go camping. Who says they actually stayed out there all night? That could have been just for a scene. No shade. This is reality TV. They could have not stayed there and just packed all that mess up and drove their behinds right back to their house. How did he know he was going to have the accident? Oh, he arguing with some woman in the car. Wanda, please come with the receipt.
Right.
Come with the receipt, Wanda, because I'm tired of every season. This is the same thing. He cheating. At this point, if I was Marsau, I would just do it. You know, because hell, I'm being accused of it. I might as well go ahead and do it because your mama keep telling you this. And then she going to turn around. Well, who was you with? And then the sad part was when I saw the little girl coming down the steps. Your kids are listening to this mess. So at what point in time do the parents put a stop to the bullshit? Like, Tisha, come on, ma'am. Are you that slow? Monica, am I missing something? Is she that slow?
Yeah, she's that slow. She really is. They need to go on and put Wanda on the Real Housewives of Atlanta with the old lady gang. They do, because she acts just like them. You know? Plaz, what are your thoughts?
Yes, Goo Gaga is that slow. She is a sponge. Anything Wanda tells her, she soaks it up and she pushes it back out into the atmosphere. She cannot think for herself. And it's really sad to see a woman almost 40, married with 3 children, who cannot think for themselves, who do not have a mind of their own, who do not have, she doesn't even have a voice of her own. It's really sad. And the fact that Wanda keeps gaslighting her and basically telling her, I'm the only one who really loves you. I'm the only one you can trust. Yeah. I'm always going to look out for my baby. She really sadly thinks that she's doing this out of some type of protection and love and devotion. And I'm sorry, it could be me and how fiercely independent I am. I don't allow my parents into my relationships. I haven't told my mother about a boyfriend since my early 20s because I learned then. It's really not fair to you or to your relationship, because here's the thing. We go to our parents and our friends and our family and we vent when it's bad, right? But you don't go back when it's good and tell them how you made up and you had your little makeup sex and girl, he did it, because you don't talk like that to your mom. So your mama and everybody at the Thanksgiving table is mad and mean mugging your husband or your boyfriend because they back 20 years ago. Whereas when you're in love, y'all kiss and make up and you went on about your business. But then your family can't get together because nobody can't stand each other. Like, this is craziness. When you are an adult, you have to learn how to operate as an adult and handle your problems by yourself. If it's something that you absolutely can't handle, or if you have had enough and you're ready to roll, then you might let your family in on. But you can't keep calling them every time something wrong. And Wanda is too comfortable. She's too invested. If you're there, I'm with Marsau. One, like we already said, she wouldn't be watching my kids. But Tisha, if she gotta watch the kids, take them kids down there to Birmingham. I don't need her nowhere in my house. I don't want her energy. I would want to sage the whole house every time Wanda left. Holy water, the holy oil. We need everything in here to get her and her spirit out of this house. He also just like him because he's the ultimate troll. That lady didn't call the insurance company, but he just wanted to piss her off. And she was playing into it like, sure did. Because she already told him, I can't stand your ass that way. And honestly, if you had been hurt, I would have wanted some of that money for me and my children and my other children, because all of them living up off of Marsau. That's the other thing. Marsau is funding the whole operation. He funding all of the Scots. Look, Wanda it's really like, it's humorous and entertaining because it's television, but I could not have a Wanda anywhere in my vicinity. I am at a place where I like peace in my life, and Wanda will never allow anybody to have peace. She is going to create a tornado. She's a little Tasmanian devil with what you call it, schoolboy, with some pump it up spritz. That's it.
Yep.
She's a little Tasmanian devil with the wild ponytails and the finger waves, going around bringing damage and destruction to everything and everybody. Like, I will say though, I think in the end, if Wanda tears everything down, Marsau gonna be like, how they used to me in Scooby-Doo, I would have got away with it if it wasn't for these meddling kids. Because Marsau is cheating. He was leaving that house after that argument to go cheat because he needed to de-stress. You got all that going on. You need to go decompress. I'm with Schoolboy at this one. Go on, release that tension, Marsau. Get it out you. And that's where he was headed to. He couldn't run out of there fast enough. Bye.
Now, this concerned citizen makes a good point. Is Miss Wanda, does Miss Wanda lack boundaries because she's being Tisha's mouthpiece? Think about it, y'all. How did Miss Wanda have their insurance information to call the insurance company? Does she think Marsau is cheating? So she's like, Mama, call them up and ask them these questions. Find out if anyone else was in the car, because that's a police report. You get into an accident, they're going to report everybody that was in that car. Do you think so?
I don't think I think, like I said before, I think Marsau was trolling her. I don't think she really did that. Because the insurance company is not going to give that type of information to just anybody over the phone.
Pretended to be the wife. You know what I'm saying? She could have called and said, I'm Tisha. I'm Letitia. My husband was in a car accident. Yada yada yada. You never know. Listen,
you're right.
I did it for homegirls. I done did it for homegirls. I done lied for people on the line to go. That was back in my former days. I have done that for people to go. Hey, is so-and-so at the office today? Or did so-and-so did they come in? Or hey, did you see I'm looking for this car. I think somebody stole it. And some people be dumb enough on the other end of the phone to give you the information. But I think I'm with players. I think he was trolling her like, damn, she look waiting for me to die. She up here calling the people, But Wanda, I don't put shit past Wanda. Wanda crazy.
I don't. She lacks boundaries. She is toxic. She won't be happy until her daughter and Marsau are in divorce court. And I'm pretty sure she keeps telling her daily, girl, you can do it. Don't worry about it. There are all kinds of single mothers out there. I'm gonna help you. For her to tell her daughter, like Ples said, I'm the only one that loves you, truly. Like no one else. That's really toxic. That's really, really toxic.
And she actually said it, just like in her video where she said she don't give a damn about no kids. She actually says it. I don't know if we've got to that part, but at some point last night, she said, I don't need no man. I was like, that's a problem. Like, you're telling your daughter that, I really hate that. I'm a very independent person, but I don't like when people go around putting their relationship traumas onto someone else. Yeah. You're tearing down this marriage because you couldn't hold on to a successful one. And, maybe Tisha doesn't need a husband, but those children need their father. Men are needed in our society. So I hate when we pass down this, toxic bad energy. I don't need no man. I don't need no man. I don't need, we got to heal, ladies. Like, don't do that to other people. Don't bring your baggage into other people's relationships, even if you've seen it play out before. Yeah. Everybody isn't the same. Some people get better. Some people go to therapy and work through things. But to just automatically have the mindset of, I don't need no hug. I don't need no man. You don't need one neither. We don't care about them kids. Those kids are gonna need friends at some point in their life. You gonna run off everybody.
That's toxic. Those kids need their family. And I think they would be a happy family unit if Wanda would just have some boundaries and mind her business. Thank you, Ingrid. We got it. Marsau, thank you so much. Oh my goodness, child. It is just a mess. Okay. Over there in Huntsville. It's a mess. So up next, Martell sits down with Chris to he wants to bring him up to speed on the status of his divorce and how that will affect the 47 acres project. He tells Chris that he can't sell 47 acres, that they're currently, but then Chris reminds him that they're currently under contract. You know, I mean, he's like, what? You know, Chris is not happy, and this will create some more legal problems potentially. This divorce is financially hurting Martell, and he's in a bad place. And he's ready to hit rock bottom, he says. Schoolboy, sound off. What are your thoughts?
That's funny. He said he was ready to hit rock bottom, but yet he's still acting like a biatch.
Mm-hmm.
You run around trying to run down Mel about what she doing and all this. Sir, you know, why would you even try to deal and tell this man that you can unload it over here? Did you not consult your lawyer before you did all that? That's I'm confused. Like, why would you say that? And now this man is like, okay, but damn, we ready. They've already tried to start excavation. What are you talking about? Mm-hmm. Now I gotta come back to the people who have bought the who are starting the construction and tell them now we gotta pause. Like that's daily occurrence of money and time and company. Like, you know, Martell is moving real just real reckless. He's moving that way in his personal life, and he's moving that way in business. And I don't know who's really going to want to deal with him after all of this when it finally settles down between him and Mel and they divvy up things. And then aren't they filing bankruptcy on certain businesses and certain stuff because they're in debt and they would have to split the debt? Isn't that, I think I heard that. Is that correct, or am I wrong, Monica?
You're correct.
Okay, so then you got that other issue too. Like, so this is way bigger than, you know, just some damn land, sir. You got a lot of hands in the pot, and I'm with Chris. Like, so when was you gonna tell me this? So now you're gonna come in here and tell me this, and now I gotta go back to my, who we've got doing the construction and say, hey, we gotta hold off now. And how long is this divorce gonna take? Because this seems real nasty. This could be a year or two. You know, this on some low key on some Dr. Dre and his wife level, and it ain't even that kind of money.
Yeah, I agree with you. They don't have that kind of money, and I think it's not a smart move to halt everything and stop everything. Go on, continue on with what's happening, and sell the property and make the money. You're going to have to eventually split everything down the middle anyway. So if there's a deal on the table, let the deal proceed and split the profits. I don't understand why everything's been placed on hold. What are your thoughts, Plez?
I think just based on the timeline that we know outside of the show, it's likely on hold because that's when they had started getting ready to file bankruptcy. You can't sell things when you're getting ready for a bankruptcy. Their bankruptcy attorney probably told them that. I don't know what all went into that decision to file bankruptcy, but yeah, you can't get rid of assets when you're going through a bankruptcy. The other thing was Martell just can never take ownership of anything. It's not even with him and Mel. In that conversation, he literally blamed Chris. Well, if this had been done a few months ago, if we had already closed on the land, I wouldn't be having these problems right now. Sir, everybody is a problem but you. And the sad reality is, you and your wayward penis are the source of all of your problems. If you had kept it in your pants, even if you kept it in your pants as of last year, you wouldn't be having these problems. Like, you kept going and going and going. This was the Energizer Bunny of mistresses. 5 years? You really thought Melody was gonna be that old school. I'm talking about them old school Southern women that just let you have another family on the other side of town. And I don't know why he honestly thought that with the way Mel is. Like, she's clearly a new age woman. She's very assertive. She's driven. She's ambitious. She wasn't going to keep letting you make a fool of her at all. But the business part of it, I think, yeah, people try to brace themselves from hitting rock bottom. And unfortunately, when stuff starts to spiral like this, rock bottom is what needs to happen. That's the only way you can rebuild. You need to do the bankruptcy. Yeah, it's going to hurt right now, but it is what it is. You're so smart. You turn Mel from a school teacher into what she is now. You can do it again, sir. You know, it's not going to be easy, but it's not going to necessarily be that hard. You roll up your sleeves and dig in for some hard work, but you won't have anybody who's willing to take a chance with you and invest with you if you keep treating people the way you're treating them and dismissing your actions and putting everything on the other person. I'm sure COVID had some stuff to do with why the closing was originally delayed, but ultimately you can't just say it's because of Mel. It's because of the divorce. It's because of how she's handling the divorce. Divorces are ugly, especially when you have so many things to separate. There's no other way to separate them other than going through the process of partitioning the land. And if, like I said, if they're at a place where maybe their assets outweigh their debts and they had to file bankruptcy, you can't sell things from underneath the bankruptcy because you have to make up your mind. Either you can afford to pay your debts or you can't. So it's just tough decisions that have to be made, but they're all the result of his actions.
True. But you know what? At the time they were talking divorce and they split up was in 2019. Because, you know, they film like 2019, the end of 2019 into 2020. So they
what we're seeing now is 2020. That's why they got on all the masks and stuff. This stuff was just filmed like before when it took the hiatus, they were up to March of 2020.
Okay, but even in 2020, they weren't talking the bankruptcy and all that stuff so early on. So I'm kind of confused why they put stuff on hold at that point. That's the only thing that confuses me.
No, well, from what they saw in reports, the bankruptcy was filed around September or October. That's like where we are because we just had a Halloween party.
November 2020. Yeah, November.
Yeah, so we just had a Halloween party. So it's on pace.
Okay, that makes sense then. Okay, fine. Moving on. Let me see here. Moving on here. Tisha's event to empower Black girls is underway, and the babies are so precious, right? I just love it. We need more events like this. Afterwards, Destiny tells the ladies she's planning a women's retreat. Kimmy and Mel are on board. They agree. Tisha joins the ladies, and Destiny extends the invite to Tisha. Tisha immediately wants to know who's going, okay? And how long will the trip be? Because as you know, she can't stomach certain people in this group. Tisha needs rules of engagement. Mel and Tisha have a sidebar conversation. Mel wants to move forward and leave the past in the past. Tisha says their last trip was bad. You know, that's when Melanie came out with all the cheating rumors and said that basically Marsau was cheating on Tisha. They agree to set their differences aside and go on this trip. Then the ladies talk about Camilla Harris being VP, and hopefully that's Black girl magic for the next 4 years. Let's sound off about that scene. Schoolboy, what are your thoughts?
I thought it was cute to see, little girls being able to have. We need to have more events for little girls, to have them be more accepting and loving themselves, and and I thought it was cute, the whole little crayons of the different shades, because let's low key, hey, I'm 34 going on 35. I ain't never had a crayon. I mean, the closest thing we had was Sienna up in the 64 pack. I mean, there was no whole lot of shades of brown. So I thought that was really cute. I thought Letitia was childish. Again, Mel's trying to be the bigger person. She got more ish to deal with her crazy ex-husband. She ain't got time to be arguing with you. Ma'am, that stuff is over a year ago. Tisha, either let it go or just, I don't know. At this point, you holding on to it because Wanda is holding on to it. And as long as Wanda, is holding on to the grudge, you got to hold on to the grudge. Man, move on. You almost 40 years old. Why? Like, I mean, yes. So that she have not have said maybe something about your marriage, but I mean, is it far-fetched that the man could have sued? I mean, could have cheated? I mean, because hell, I would have cheated. Given the fact that your mama alone, I would have cheated. But even if he did cheat, he's smart enough not to get caught. This ain't a situation where it's Martell cheating. And he could have already been done it. And Wanda just trying to look for, for something to fight. And I want Letitia to get a mind of her own. And I want her to move past it. I really want them to move past it. Yeah. And I think, Kimmy and I were just looking like, okay, so how is this going to work? Well, I need to take my own car. How long are we going to share? And I'm like, ma'am, either damn go or don't go. Hell, we know you want the check for the show, so you're going to go. So, either y'all can iron it out and talk about it and be mature or not. And even Mel did take it to the side and say, hey, look, I'm just trying to, be on a good level with you. I don't want to keep rehashing the past. It's over. I just want to move forward. And she still had a damn attitude. I don't know. At this point, I just throw up my hands because I'm sick of it.
Yeah. Okay. It's tired. It's tiring. It's a lot. Grow up. As they say, shit or get off the pot. Plus, what are your thoughts?
I think it was a nice event until Tisha and her draining it butt tail energy got there. It just, the More Than Peach was really good. Like all of us. Look, I used to beg my mama for the 64 box of crayons or the 128 with the sharpener in the back. I used to want those crayons so bad. And of course they had to be Crayola. Don't bring me no dollar store crayons. Those are too waxy and they don't color right on the paper. Oh, sorry, I was taken back to childhood for a minute, but unfortunately I only got the 24 pack. And yes, the only thing that was somewhat and not even skin tone color in the 24 pack was brown, white, and yellow. So I'm happy now that young girls have options to see their skin tones in coloring and in painting. It was really good too that I've seen that variation of these colors from different, I think Crayola at some point, I don't know which came first, but I think Crayola might have did some Cadillac car into that little girl's brainchild, because I think they now have like a box of those. But it was good for young girls to see entrepreneurship and ingenuity with someone who looks like them, right? That's one reason why I love Shark Tank, because I love to see every day people coming up with ideas and inventions and grow their businesses. So it was very powerful for those young ladies to be able to see a young girl who looked like them, who had an idea, and their parents got together and brought it to market. Going to that talk though, it was beyond draining. It was irritating. She fully showcased her Arrested Development. All of the adult women at the table were having a nice, normal conversation. And then here comes Tisha with her 10th grade attitude. Well, even if, and then she loves to talk about people being rude, but you are being there high-key being rude. I don't know if I can stomach 3 days, stomach it. Like, what do you mean? It is so juvenile and petty at this point. And I'm with Mel. People can say what they want, whether they think COVID is real, whether they think this pandemic is man-made. But look, the reality is people are dying. And I am with Mel. Last year taught me so much about letting go. I had a friendship. Well, we were friends for great years. I hadn't talked to her in a few years because of stuff. And she texted me and reached out like at the beginning of the lockdown. And I texted her back. And no, we're not back to like on the phone, good Judy's, good girlfriends. But it was dead. It was like, you know what? I want to know that you and your family are healthy and okay in this pandemic. And I want to know that you are too. If I ever loved you at some point, I will never truly hate you. I want to see you eat, not at my table, but I want to see you eat. Like, I don't have that type of energy in my life anymore. I just, life is too short, y'all. And I'm with Mel. I want Tisha to get there, but unfortunately, I don't think she will with Wanda in her ear. Everything that is, it's like she brought up everything she could. Can I drive my own car? Well, how long are we gonna be there? Well, what are we gonna talk about? Can we have boundaries? You should be able to stand up for yourself at this point in your life. If someone brings up a conversation that you don't want to have, just say, I don't want to talk about that. I'm not going to engage in that conversation. Walk off. It's so many conflict resolution skills that you can use, but she has none. And so she defaults to isolating herself, but then she's mad because she has chosen to isolate herself and no one won't come over here and isolate with her. Melody is a mean girl and Kimmy don't support me. Girl, you 40. The only thing you need supporting you is your bra. Go to Victoria's Secret, honey. That's it. Stand on your own 2 feet. You are not the little girl getting bullied on the playground anymore. And I'm really sorry that you keep having those flashbacks. But you need therapy, intensive therapy. Please do it before your children become teenagers. Because it's a vicious cycle. And hopefully Tisha can see how this is reflecting on TV. But unfortunately, I don't think she does. Because it's been, 3 seasons now? Or however, I don't like how they number their seasons, but whatever. It feels like 3 seasons. They've come and gone. And she just gets more and more defensive and closed off instead of stepping back and saying, maybe I need to check something.
She really is childish. And like you mentioned, Arrested Development, she's stuck at, 13 is too mature. I would say 6, Oh, I hope she gets the help she needs by watching herself on TV, because you surely can't conduct yourself productively in society with being so immature, childish, and petty. It just gets you nowhere, at all. Martell and the kids pay his mama a visit at her house. She has a nice house, right? She has a nice little house. I like it. They start off with making cookies. Then Martell and Shirley talk privately. Her name is Shirley, right? Okay. Her name's Shirley? Okay. Just double check.
I just say Martell mama. That's all I say.
That's what I say, because I didn't even catch the little banner at the bottom.
I was looking for it. Yeah. Comment in the chat. I don't know where I got Shirley from, but just let me know if Martell's mama name is Shirley or not. Okay. All right. So they start off making cookies with the kids, and it's such a nice scene, and the kids are so happy. And his mom just seems like a good grandma. She likes being around her grandkids, and she loves Martell. So after they put the cookies in the oven, and the kids retreat to the bedroom so Martell and Miss Shirley can have an adult conversation. Martell brings up Mel taking their business to social media, but she left out the part about her cheating. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. In season 1, didn't Martell talk about his own cheating? He admitted to the relationship, right? They were outside at a dock or something and talking, and he admitted to the relationship and also gave a timeline of it too. So how is she bringing that to social media when he talked about it in season 1? So he's deflecting like typical Martell, aka Marsha. Yes, I did wrong, but Mel did wrong too. Any way to drag Mel into his crap, he's going to do it. So he claims she's the one telling everyone their business, that he's cheating and needs to talk about her mess too. Shirley explains how his actions may be affecting his children. Shirley brings up the rumor of Ariane being pregnant, and Martell confirms it. And you can tell this breaks this woman's heart, because, she was a single mom, and I guess her hopes and dreams was for her son to have a solid marriage and not fall into a generational curse of some sort. So she's devastated. She's heartbroken, and she starts to cry. She tears up, and she says that she'll always love Mel Mel will always be her daughter-in-law, no matter what. Martell comments that he'll always love Mel too, but then he goes on to bash her in the same breath. Let's comment on that scene, Schoolboy. What were your thoughts? It was very touching.
She's an example of what a grandmother's supposed to be. Wanda, please take notes. I love this scene, but I felt bad for his mom because she truly was disappointed in her son. And I think also she saw that he still can't take accountability. You still, like, sir, you still trying to bash this woman about her cheating. And I mean, didn't Mel admit it this year that she cheated, but she cheated emotionally? She didn't have sex with her. So, I mean, yes, and everybody's definition of cheating is different, okay? Some people believe that even if you cheat emotionally or you engage with somebody outside of your partner, that is still cheating even if you do not have sexual intercourse. So everybody's people got different interpretations of that. I just thought it was sad, but parents have to understand too, you can't make dictations or pictures of how you or frame your kids' life in the way that you want their life to be. Yes, you can give your kids all of the tools and all of the guidelines, teach them right from wrong, but at the end of the day, they're going to do what they want to do. Inevitably, her son did what he wanted to do. He cheated on his wife. Now he has an outside child. And now, contrary to this kid, because the child is here, regardless of how the child got here, the child is here. It's not the child's fault of how the child got here in conception, but you can either accept it or not accept it, but the kid's here. And unfortunately, the only person that's going to suffer in all of this is that child, because that child didn't ask to be here. And even though the child came here within the wrong confines, it is what it is. That's the only person I feel sorry for, is because that kid now is going to know I do have siblings, but their mom is not going to care for me for the way that I came about. And unfortunately, that's Mel's right, because she's hurt. But at the same time, I wish for one day that those kids can be together, because at the end of the day, sometimes people don't realize when you have all of these outside kids or all these outside people, eventually when those kids grow up and they don't know that they have other siblings, somebody could end up dating somebody. It's not far-fetched. Or somebody can end up meeting somebody and falling in love with somebody. And they don't even know that that's their sibling, because they were never introduced, because one side didn't like this side. So I think inevitably the kids are going to suffer on all ends. Mel's kids and his kid with Arion is going to suffer due to bad decisions as adults. I feel sorry for, like I said, again, I feel sorry for his mama, because that woman heart broke to know that your son got to tell you that he got a side baby with somebody outside of who he married that you love. And basically, low key, she told him, I don't give a kitty what heifer you bring up in here. I'm always love Mel. I don't give a damn who you bring around me. I'ma love her. Yeah. So, and then he talking about, I love her too, but then, sir, stop bashing the lady. At the end of the day, your kids are gonna see this. Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with Martell. I don't know if he needs Jesus, a therapist, an exorcism, or all of the above. But just keep bashing this woman, I just don't understand.
Very childish. Definitely like this video if you are watching. Plus, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, he's all of the above, as you said. He's very immature. And unfortunately, I don't see that going anywhere. It was just sad to even hear him say, the kids asked, Daddy, do you have a girlfriend? Because Mama tell me, and so I'm just going to have to tell him, Mama got a boyfriend. Like, really? Really? Like, and here's the thing. He is, again, assuming that Melody tells them these things. Mariah is 9. Huntsville ain't that big. I can almost guarantee you somebody that told Mariah, somebody's bad child who heard their mama, grandmama, auntie, Wanda talking, then went to school and told Mariah that her parents getting a divorce because her daddy got a girlfriend. We aren't our children's only influences and sources of information. There are lots of, that baby got a tablet, she got a computer. This has been in the news for 3 years. If my mom and daddy come to me and say they're getting a divorce and I'm on the internet and I'm smart, those children are smart. You can Google that easily. Find all kind of receipts and interviews from Miss Ariane. So look, did Melody tell him? Maybe, but it also could not be Melody. But it even if it's her, why would you then go back and say, well, she had a boyfriend too? Like, you're that petty, even when it comes to children. And his mother was wise and smart and says, you don't want them to resent you both, because that is what they are setting up. These children, you don't have to feed anything about a parent either way. Absent parent, present parent, trifling parent. Kids see and know. Now, they will always love their parents, but all you got to do is let it play out. They will see who's there for them. They will see who loves and supports them, and they will form their own opinions. You don't have to manipulate those opinions. But it was very sad. We all have, I think, been through some type of family trauma and drama at some point in our lives. But to see it play out like this on television at all points, last episode, it was heartbreaking with the children. This episode, it's heartbreaking with his mother. And I know what his mother was meaning to do, but she said this to him a few times, and I want her to stop as well. She keeps telling him he's just like his father. Martell is still broken from his father. So constantly reminding him that he's just like his father is not helping him at all. It's actually making him worse. And I know parents do that, just it's almost like a knee-jerk thing, but he's still a wounded little 8, 9, 10-year-old boy waiting on his daddy to come pick him up and take him somewhere. So feeding him that is only beating him further down. And I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve some of the things that he's getting, but if you want people to get better, you can't pile on them. And so for me as a mother, I don't think she should be one who's also jumping in on him. Like, at some point he needs a safe space. And so I hope that they can get there, because he can't go back to Melody at this point. So he is going to need a support system to help him rebuild. I just think he's going about trying to get that support system the wrong way by constantly bringing up. And for me, if Mel had cheated on him, I feel like this is something he would have said season 1. As soon as the allegations came out, as soon as they were going back and forth, he would have been like, well, you cheated too. He didn't do that. He just started doing that once she put her foot down and said, I'm going to get a divorce. That's when he tries to bring this up and sell it to everybody who will listen. Well, she did it too. Even if she did it too, which I don't think she physically did, because Martell's ego is huge. I don't see her coming to him and saying, oh yeah, I slept with old boy, and him staying. I don't. He's very traditional. I don't think his ego could take people around town knowing that his wife had another man on the side. Mm-hmm. I just think this is something that he's a dart that he's throwing at this point.
It is. And he is a liar because he cheats. A cheater is a liar. So he has no credibility in my book. It's really hard for me to believe that Mel cheated. And she talked about it. She said, we were not together. We broke up. I was living in my own residence, and it was 4 weeks. Stop making it sound like it was this full-blown affair that I had while we were madly in love in a marriage. So it's semantics. He's just trying to do anything in his power to take the spotlight off of him. He hates looking so bad. He hates losing. He's a competitor. You can tell. Everything for him is a competition. And even the competition of life and being the best husband and father, he's completely failing at, and his ego can't take it. I see him on Instagram with big old chains around his neck. It's scary, pushing big old tires and stuff. He is just a hot mess. I'm telling y'all. I'm going to add Princess to the chat. Hey, Princess.
Hey.
Evening.
Hey.
Good evening.
This episode was interesting. I fell asleep on the very, very end, and I didn't get a chance to get back to it. But of course, I watched the rest of it. That Miss Wanda, she got me all conjured up, like worked up. I've seen people like her, and those women tend to be church ladies, nonetheless. Of all things, that's your typical the messy lady that worked in the back and served dinners. The church mama, miserable. She is on the board of the Old Hacks Club. And Tisha is also a candidate. Her and Candace are on the sorority line together to get into the Old Hacks Club. And if they're gonna don't be careful, they're on their way and they have a husband. That Marsau, he is a whole clown. I'm here for it. I think the trolling is one of the best ways that he probably copes with the situation at this point. For me, it makes me think that how did they get married? Because you knew you had this old hag to deal with before y'all got married, unless Tisha and Wanda played the role and played a trick on him. And Miss Wanda taught her, this how you get a husband now, baby, okay? And I'm going to tell you what to tell him. And she probably coached her all the way to the altar with Marsau in order to trap him to make sure that she has a secure future. I don't know why I just had that whole reenactment in my head, but that's just the way it is. This what these women do. And now that she has the husband, Tisha still needs guidance on how to keep the husband, but that's something that Miss Wanda don't know how to tell her, okay? Because she don't know how to keep a man herself. Because I'm sorry, it's no way that I can imagine that this woman got a husband and a boyfriend, and now you done threw some foster kids up in the mix, and you still have time to sit up there and run your daughter's marriage as well. Yes, your husband is going to be in the streets, ma'am, or either in the bar and or both, because he needs a way to decompress and to get away from you and your mother. When even the Bible says when you get married, you're supposed to cleave one to another, and you leave your mama's house, okay? You might as well give up that. Wanda might as well be giving up the Wanda Marsau too, because that's the way they acting, okay? It's unnerving to me. It upset me, and I'm a woman. I'm like schoolboy. I'm not screwing you, okay? Go ahead somewhere with that. And it's Tisha's fault. She does not have accountability for her actions and her mom. And you saw in the confessionals, Marsau sit up there and said, your mama is trying to tear up our marriage. No, he ain't. No, she ain't. Well, she's doing a damn good job of doing so. That was his warning of letting her know, look, honey, this is not working and you're going to have to do something about it. But I'm sure that in the back of his mind, he knows that Tisha's not going to do anything about her mama. So her mama better buy a house so that the only person that love her baby, and her two babies, all of them can live in a house together. And Marsau is going to fix his sports car or go get a new one and go get him a new lady for real to go be in that passenger seat, because that allegations of cheating was horrible. It was wrong. And if it were my mama, but me and my mama have a different relationship than the average person, I would be like, shut the hell up and get the hell out. We're not going to do this, okay? No, not at all. You want some chicken? Okay, well, we're not going to talk about this. That conversation would have been out. I don't know about the insurance thing. I was on the fence. I was like, is that for real or for play? Because I'm sitting here like, how would she know the information for the insurance? Like, that really bothered me. And yeah, again, trolling to cope with the situations. Letitia, again, with the ladies who are all going to be there. Well, ma'am, just don't go. If you have to ask these questions and you don't like the people, it's nothing else to be said. Just don't show up. I don't like y'all because I'm a real person. I cannot be fake. If I don't want to be around you, I'm not going to be around you. Now, there's certain people that know I don't like them. I can tolerate them and I can get along and I can be civil. But if I feel that I'm not going to act right in the situation, I'm going to get the clowning and shading, I will not show up if I don't want to be around you. And it's a nice way that you can decline. Say, girl, you know what? I don't think I can do it. This is not for me. But that's the adult thing to do. But we forgot we're talking about goo goo gaga. So we got to do it like we 5 years old. Who's gonna be there? Well, I don't know. I don't, and you're doing it, and all these children out there that y'all supposed to be an example for, and you can't do the most basic thing around children. Now, this last part with they said Shirlene or Martell, whatever Martell's mama's name is. Okay, I'm sorry, lady. I'm sorry. That's the part I didn't catch the whole part of it, but Martell's mother is a person that you can admire as a mother in some aspects, that she tells him the truth. And I think it burns him that she makes him accountable of a lot of things. And she is one of the only people that he cannot come back to and talk crazy to. Okay. That he can't say what he want to say to her and be like, oh no, hell no. Well, what about you? Or run up on, like he could run up on Wanda, or he could talk back to Destiny. He can pick a fight with Mel, but he will not and cannot do that with his mother. And, I want to see, I'm going to go back and watch it. I want to see that scene, and I want to see how this unfolds with the dynamic between her having loyalty to Mel and having loyalty to Martell. I don't think she has to be in between, because those are her grandkids. And at the end of the day, you still have to be a family, even though you're not together. And that scene with Martell, and he get on my nerves with that daggone. He knew what he was messing up with the 47 acres. And I think if he was just nicer to Mel and stopped trying to prove a point, that they would have been able to get things done in an amicable way, and it wouldn't have to get so ugly, and both of them would be making money. And I do think that severance right now of the 47 acres, I think it does have a connection to the bankruptcy. And that was my personal opinion in the beginning. Like, oh, maybe that's the reason why they had to file bankruptcy, because you finna get sued, whatever way, because they're severing Holt and Holt. So I think that was some business stuff that went bad. And I think Martell could have fixed it if he hasn't fixed it now. That he could have fixed it if he had just stopped being such a butthole and conducted business with Melody in the right way. Because I'm going to tell you, whether I love you or hate you, if we get in a bag together, baby, we going to get along until I get my check. So, that tells me he really messed up on a lot of fronts with a lot of people. And he's done some things he can't come back from.
Right. Yeah. Very well said. Very well said, Princess. I agree on a lot of those points. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do too. You always say, tell it exactly how it is, baby. Martell just...
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad. Like, the grandmother was so hurt, but she's that gangster grandmama. All the kids are gonna be at her house. They gonna know they got a brother. Yeah, because she gonna have them all. Yeah, y'all come meet your brother.
The best thing to do. Yeah, because they need to get along. And I'm a victim of that. The mamas don't get along, but I didn't know the baby mama. But you got to have the siblings together. So the grandmother helps with mediating those situations, and that's the best thing.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Princess. We love you. Bye, my love. Very well said. I'm going to add Victoria to the chat. Hey, Victoria.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
It's nice to finally meet you all.
Yes, welcome.
I love your panel.
Thank you. Welcome.
But I wanted to touch bases on Wanda. Wanda is too much. She needs to stay out of their business. And Tisha, she is just childish, and she's going to mess around and lose her husband. That is without a doubt. And she's very childish. And the whole situation that she has with Melody, she needs to let it go. Seriously, she needs to let it go. And as far as Marsau is concerned, I think somewhere down the line, something is going to come out as far as Marsau, or either he's going to wind up taking a break from Tisha. because Wanda is going to be too much for him to take, and he's going to walk away from his marriage because the man is going to get tired of everything that's going on. And then as far as Martell, he's gone too far with the situation. He's being too petty. And as Ples said earlier, as far as the situation that, as far as his mother, constantly saying that he's too much like his father, I agree with you to some extent, but Marsau, he's a narcissist, and the way he handles himself, he's very trivial with it, and he blames a lot of stuff. You know, he's a tit for tat person, and that's a person that I can't stand. So, like, he made a comment, you know, now that Mel has said that she's told the kids that I have a girlfriend, now I'm just going to have to tell them that she has a boyfriend. You don't do that, because all he's doing is hurting the children. And as far as her telling the children that she has a girlfriend, you know, maybe she shouldn't have told the kids that, but in a way, I think she should have, because there's a baby that's going to come out of that. So she has to ease certain things onto to the kids to prepare them for that, because that baby just can't come out of nowhere. And the grandmother is going to tell the kids about that baby. So I agree with her letting them know up front. So that's pretty much like all I have to say on that front. But Wanda, she is a mess, and I think eventually at some point they're gonna do with Wanda what they did with Candy Burris's mother, and they're gonna fade her out because she's causing too many problems. And that's pretty much all I had to say on that.
Well said. Well said. I hope Tisha wakes up out of her fog, because, you know, she's like in a perpetual cloud someplace, and realize that her mother is toxic, is trying to ruin her marriage. Her mother literally wants her to be divorced.
Yeah, her mother is a classic person as far as misery loves company, because her mother can't keep a man. So her mother is so miserable, and she's jealous of what Tisha has, to the point where she's going to keep going and going until Tisha has nobody.
Yeah.
And I think Tisha's going to be raising those kids on her own.
Absolutely. I don't even think she thinks that far. I just think she's just messy, and that's just who she is. And she's always operated life this way, and she's just doing what she knows how to do best, you know, and it's sad. It really is.
She's going to ruin her daughter's marriage. She really is.
She is.
I think Marsau plays
until she does so.
Yeah, I think Marsau plays the long game. You know, I think he'll be one of the people who stay as long, you know, until that last child gets to be 18.
Exactly.
Then he gonna run. He don't want to pay child support. But once that gets settled, he gonna be, okay, I've done my time. Goodbye.
I agree, but I think Marsau is getting tired of it, because if you notice, before he wasn't standing up to Wanda, and now he's more and more he's starting to stand up to Wanda. Like, I was totally surprised when he told her that basically to get out last night. I was really surprised.
Shake a bone, honey.
Yes. I was really surprised.
So Victoria, you need to call in more often. You are beautiful. You're poignant. You're on point, child.
Thank you.
Okay.
I love you guys.
Love you too. Have a good
evening.
You. You're welcome. Bye. I'm going to add Dr. EVA to the chat. Hey, Dr. EVA.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
I'm good. I missed you.
Missed you?
I missed you too.
Okay, schoolboy, you are looking so fresh, especially on IG. Like, oh my God. I'm working and my timeline is just flooded with all the schoolboy stuff. And then Ples, like, you are inspiring me. I need a tutorial. So I just thought I would give a little Ples inspired something. I want to put on some lipstick. I sure did.
I see.
And you look gorgeous. Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you. You're glowing. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you. Okay, you know what? And Monica, you're looking amazing. I already know.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I try to spruce myself up every time I come on.
Okay, you know what? I have to just call in to talk about Tisha.
Mm-hmm.
I have a difference of opinion. I totally hear what everyone is saying, but a couple things. She's not slow. Even though she has like a little bit of a speech impediment and has at times awkward conversations, she's not slow. She's not dumb. Trust me. I'm like confident. I'm confident about this. Okay, and I know people are saying, you know what, just grow up, move past this, like move on, girl. She has every right to question everything. If it's wrong for her husband or for her mom to talk about her marriage, it should also be wrong for Martell and Melody to talk about her marriage. Period. If the Holts have information about fidelity or not, don't taunt her with it. Either come out with it and in a respectful way, or just be quiet and leave it alone. So she has every right to create a safe space for herself because she clearly wants to be friends with this group of girls. Yes, why else would she ask questions about who else is going? That's a normal question. Who else is going on the trip? It's a normal question. But she's also in her own way, trying to create a safe space about, can we bring a car? I thought it was very completely fine to say, hey, can we have rules of engagement? I saw nothing wrong with it. And you can tell she's stepping up with boundaries. She walked away during the Halloween party. With the comment from her husband about the different roads of the track or sides of the track, she said she is stepping up and asking the right questions. I do feel, however, at times it comes off ill-timed, and people are not really respecting your thoughts sometimes, because if you can talk, but if you do something differently, it's just incongruent. So my thinking with Tisha, if I could do anything for her, I would actually tell her to speak less, to be honest. Not because I don't want her to express herself, but I think her respect needs to be reached.
Dr. EVA, you're covering up your mic or something. It's muffling. You have your hand over it?
Oh, I'm sorry. Sure.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
It was my lips. It was my lipstick. So anyway, so I'm just saying, you know what? I think just speaking less and doing more and teaching people with your behavior, I think would be the solution. The next thing I would do is go to New York City for 2 years and be in the real estate game. No husband, no children. Still be married, of course. Still be a mom, of course. But if I could do anything in terms of her social development, I would do that to increase her confidence and her independence. That's what I would do. Melody was dead wrong for talking about her marriage in that way and taunting her. And that is why I think there's an issue between the two of them. Now, Wanda was, all the other times that you guys were saying she's crazy, I thought, you know what, it was kind of funny, but this video you showed was absolutely inappropriate. It was out of line. That's a violation. Period. Wanda, you need to apologize. That was out of line. And Martell, you know what? I think Martell, the biggest lesson is, actions have consequences. And this is part of it. Now, the conversation between him and his mom, I felt like, there are ways to hold people accountable and still be a support system. Case in point is Karen from Real Housewives of Potomac, in my view. I thought it was completely fine for the mom to say, you are like your dad. I didn't necessarily see that in a degrading way. I think what she could have said to finish or round out that conversation is that, look, we have generational patterns that are inherited now. I'm a single mom, and now my daughter-in-law is going to be a single mom. Now we have a broken or blended family that we have to deal with, and that's not what I wanted for you. Now it's here. I'm going to support you through this. I wish them all luck.
Yeah, I agree. It's just with Martell's mom, she said that many times before, and it's always her tone. It's when she says it. Only when he messes up. Only when he does bad things. So it's like, are you gonna keep beating him up and saying, "Oh, you're just like your father"? You're just like it's the timing and it's how she says it. I agree with you. I mean, Tisha, look, for me, it's Tisha's whole package. And yes, Mel and Martell were wrong with saying things about her marriage, but it was a tit for tat. They've been doing this to each other. And so that's where they are. So at some point you have to say it's dead. We both were wrong. And Tisha to this day has not said, she keeps saying Mel won't own her stuff. Tisha is the one who refuses to own that her and Marsau were going at the Holtz marriage. Even if it's like she wants to do with Wanda. If my mom is a crackhead, I can talk about my mama being a crackhead. You can't. So if my husband is out in these streets cheating, I can talk about my husband being out in these streets cheating. But when you come and say, well, what about the BMW that he bought her? And what about this? Tisha was going at Mel's neck for a very long time before Mel and Martell finally came back and said, well, your husband doing the same thing, actually. So, it's both sides not owning up to what they've done. And I think, again, it was the tone in which Tisha was asking. Who gonna be there? Well, can I bring a car? To me, an assertive person says, how many days is it gonna be? Okay, I don't think I can do 3 days. I could do a day. And I'm like, don't ask questions. I'm going to drive myself so that if I feel uncomfortable and I want to leave, I will leave. Or if I feel the relationship is beyond repair, thank you for inviting me, girl. I won't come. Even how she invited Mel to the event for the girls. She kept telling that girl, you can just drop your girls off. And then told on Martell in the process. Martell just drops them off over here with us all the time. So while he acting like super dad on social media, he be dropping children off everywhere. So that was just my perspective, but I understand yours as well.
I get it.
I think it's just the energy. People don't realize the energy you give is the energy you receive. So if you come off and you're in this condescending and the tone is nasty, I'm gonna give you what you're giving me. And I think Tisha know how to pick at people. Everybody know how to pick at that one person. They know what buttons to push. And as long as somebody's willing to engage with it, the other person is willing to give it back. And Mel was just like, you know what? I don't have time for this. We either need to move on past this if you don't want, and that's fine if you don't want to, but I just don't want to go there. And I've seen a lot of comments in the chat saying, oh, well, next week Mel is going to bring it back. I wouldn't fool with it anyway. Okay, but this once again, energy. If I'm going to still hold on to it and pick at you, then I'm going to come back at you the same way that you give me. So people have to learn when to walk away, what battles to pick and what battles not to pick. And if I just can't get along with you, I'm like, players, I just won't go. I'm like, Princess, look, if I can't stand your ass, I'm just not going to go if it's that bad. So I just think that Letitia that maturity level is just not there. I don't know what it is. It's just not there for her. And that's fine. But I do see what you're saying, Dr. Evie. I just there's at a point where you got to get grown.
Yeah. Dr. EVA, thank you so much for sharing your perspective with us tonight. And I love you for seeing the good in everyone, because you always do. And I love that about you.
God.
It's a redeeming quality. God bless you, Dr. EVA.
Thank you, guys. I'll be watching.
Thank you. And you look great in the lipstick. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
All right, y'all. Bye-bye. Okay, I just want to acknowledge a few super chats. Tamiko, thank you so much for the super sticker. We appreciate you. Beautifully animated. Thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, fam. Are we sure Martell and Tisha aren't siblings? Because they both immature and make no moves to better themselves. Interesting. Marcella, we love you so much, Marcella. Hey, Monica, Schoolboy, and Ples. Hey, Marcella. Hey, we're gonna add LL before we head out of here. Hey, LL, how you doing out there?
Hey, LL.
Hey guys. I'm doing well, doing great. Yeah, it's warming up. Ooh, ooh. Short sleeves. This was a interesting episode. Maurice is so messy. He's a messy person. Like, you the uncle that sits at the family picnic listening to all the aunties talk, and then you get drunk and you take back all the tea. That's Maurice. That is Maurice. We all know that one uncle that claim he don't like to be in women's business, but be the main one to know everything, and that's Maurice.
Yeah.
You might as well just said that Martell got the girl pregnant. Because Marsau already know. You trying to play it for the camera. Come on now. Come on.
Obvious.
I pray for Marsau's patience, because literally I've never enjoyed him on the show. And then like this season, just looking at what he deals with at home, I'm like, you know what? You a good one, because I can't. I would not be able to. Wanda got some issues, and her sister and her daughter cannot seem to correct her mama. It's just like, girl, did your mama not teach you the word accountability? Did no one in school teach you about accountability? That's all I ask for in life. Just, if you mess up, stand in it, own it, apologize. She can't do it. And he's like, that doesn't sound like my mama. Girl, it's been 20 million Facebook, Instagram videos of your mama talking about them. Like 2 episodes ago, I was going at Martell for going off on her, and I saw that video. You know what? You got me up here liking Blockhead. I'm over here on Marsha's side. The disrespect.
I know.
I'm like, Wanda, you just ruined it. You just ruined the whole bag. You just ruined everything. Just throw the whole plate away at this point. She like that little bit of chitlin juice. That everything's separate. You got the greens on the plate, the cornbread dressing, and somebody put chitlin juice on it, and it touches everything. You got to throw the whole plate away.
It ruins everything.
It ruins everything. That is Wanda. For 2 episodes straight, she been the chitlin juice at Thanksgiving.
Oh my goodness, child. You are funny, LL. You are.
I'm just over it. Can you stop ruining stuff?
But she's good TV, though, isn't she?
She is, but you gotta know when to turn it on.
Listen, we don't talk about Kimmy's scenes that much, but we talk about Miss Wanda's, okay? She makes us talk.
She makes us talk about, let me.
I knew Monica was going to go there about Kimmy. Jeez.
But I can appreciate Kimmy. Kimmy is mature, because what she's not going to do is play with you. What she's not going to do is like, you want to argue?
Good episode for me. Kimmy was not in it much. I enjoyed it. Okay.
I know you did. All right. You did. You was over there twinkling your toes, just happy you didn't see Kimmy.
Twiddling my thumb.
We didn't have Kimmy, but we had the 5-year-old Tisha though. I like to watch grown women. I don't like to watch little girls.
See, even Kimmy has put together the chicken war. I mean, put aside the chicken war with Destiny. They was over there commiserating. She asked Destiny to give her some pointers on her je ne sais quoi of how she was able to get Melody to get the people together. That's how you stuff aside and compliment another grown woman.
Not so talking about, can we drive
Monica like them little 3 minutes of Kimmy, that was all I need.
That's all she could take. You like me when I see Tisha come on the channel, I'm like, Lord, let me get my patience, let me get my Advil, my Tylenol, let me grab
Monica like, I still can't stand the heifer.
No.
Look, I just need somebody to shake some sense into Tisha. When that girl called her, she said, "Oh, that doesn't sound like my mama." girl.
I would have hung up on her ass
Girl.
right then.
You act like you don't know your mother.
She
Like you
actually
not watch
said
the
that's
show.
odd. She said that's odd. Girl, okay. All right.
But boss, how's that odd when you did an after show with your mama not too long ago doing the same mess to Melody, dragging her? And I'm like, girl, let's be real. Melody has been like unbothered about you. Like you keep Melody name in your mouth. Girl, she living in your head rent free. With a deluxe apartment in the sky. You better grow up now.
Ooh, no,
I don't let nobody live in my head rent free.
Right? Oh yeah.
But even in the confession, I just really feel bad, y'all. I'm with y'all now. You know, like I said, I see Marsau. I know what he is. But you know, when she got in the confessionals with the back and forth of, oh, your mom. I mean, the man is telling you, girl, pay attention. How you do the little tap, tap, tap.
Girl.
pay attention, little Tisha.
Wait,
pay
like
attention, little Tisha. The man is telling you it is a problem, and you sitting here talking about, no, it's not. She good. She don't do nothing. Okay, girl. He done told you on public. He has put you on notice.
Girl, that like them old Wayne movies. Message. He telling you he getting tired of this. The way he headed out that door. Oh, baby, that was all real. Like we all seen them type of arguments around our family. I'm like, look, I'm going to the bar.
All them cards you say I got, I'm finna take one of them right now. About my business. Don't ask where I'm going, neither.
You over here letting your mama.
His face was like, your slowness was cute at first, but this shit's getting annoying now.
This getting on my last nerve.
Yeah, you're doing too much.
You let your mama into your head thinking this man cheating on you, but at the same time, you want to defend your marriage when it comes to Mel. See, you can't have it both ways. You can't have it. You can't have your sandwich and eat it too. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You need to pick. Do you trust your husband or not? Because that whole scene felt stupid. What do you mean he took his sports car? Does it matter that he took his sports car to the camp? He can get that thing washed. Yeah. He want to stunt. Martell over here going through a divorce. Let him come in there and stunt on this fool. Like, look at me in my happy marriage, in my car, going home to my wife. What you eating? Captain Crunch and milk?
Burnt popcorn. Listen, LL, listen, girl, listen, you are just too funny. And I need you to call in every single time we do this recap because, child, you got me in stitches, okay? You really do.
I wonder if you're going to do the recap about this whole Meghan and Prince Harry interview because I'm very interested in that tonight. Like, I took a break from watching that because it's on DVR so I could talk to y'all because I'm like, I'm waiting for the tea about that because at the end of the day, like, this girl had been unproblematic in Hollywood for years. You know, she was never like A-list or B-list. She worked her way up. Ain't nobody ever talked about her. And all of a sudden she dropped this interview and now she's a bully.
Yeah. And Bethany coming for her too. She needs to mind her business. You know what, panel? Should we recap the Meghan interview? I wanted to ask y'all. What do you think? Yeah.
I mean, I think about it like this. She went into the country that basically birthed racism. Every country that the UK has touched has some type of racism, colorism, classism issue.
Yeah, the UK, the British have is an empire that has taken slaves all over this universe, pretty much. I wouldn't even say planet, universe. Okay, so they've enslaved so many Black people, and that's a very racist country to the core. I don't know what she was thinking, but it is what it is. We're gonna get into some things. If the panel wants to, we sure will. And then Bethany and her comments, her problematic Karen comments.
Girl, she wanted some attention. That's all that was.
Audacity, Bethany Frankel.
The caucasity.
The caucasity.
And I saw your comments, Monica, on your post on that, and it was unreal. People's response to that. And I'm just sitting there like, really? And it was even some Black people. I was like, really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, really? But then again, hey, y'all say Bruno Mars is appropriating culture, but let's not go there because that's another subject we can get on to. Well,
isn't Bruno Mars Afro-Latina? He is brown. He looks very brown to me.
Okay, but they wasn't complaining though, Monica, when he did that 14 Karat Gold album, which was all 90s R&B. What is the problem?
Right.
No, people have been complaining. People have been calling him out on it for a lot, but I think it's for a while. But I do think it's misguided.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah,
I
he's just
agree.
But
talented.
they have
You
been.
gonna get
They've been
on
talking
him,
about
get
him
on
for a
everybody.
long time, saying that he only uses the culture for when it's popular. Same thing they were saying about Justin Timberlake.
But here's the thing, though. At least with Bruno Mars, you can go back to any of his childhood videos and see him singing and tap dancing to Michael Jackson, versus Justin Timberlake, who was all a country child and only wants to get with the culture to have a hit album, but don't defend women. I can't say that for Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars grew up loving MJ just like I did. That's like
And
me
if you're
getting
gonna
mad
get
at
on all
Eminem.
of them, get on all of them, because
Right.
he's not the only one. That's what my issue with Black folks is. We get this selective cherry picking of what we want to be outraged about. Can we pick an energy and stick to it? Because if that's the case, then everybody that we had that's appropriating culture wouldn't be getting these Grammys.
Yeah, that's true. Mirage Bond, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you. I feel like I'm talking to my 8-year-old nieces and nephews. My 12-year-old son got more sense and speaks more intelligently. It hurts my damn brain. I'm sick. She's slow. Child. Yeah. LL, thank you for calling in, my love. We appreciate you so much. You are
Thank
so
you. Y'all have a wonderful evening.
Yeah, you definitely entertain the folks, child.
Just keep the chitlin juice off your plate. That's
You
all
know
I'm saying.
what? Yeah, that's
Just say no. Yeah.
chitlin juice.
I don't even like
You got a
chitlins.
new name now, chitlin juice.
That's what she is every time. Some people like it, a lot of people don't.
Yeah, that's true. It ain't for everybody. I'll tell you that much. All right, Miss LL, you have a good one.
You
Bye.
too.
Bye-bye. We're gonna wrap up tonight's show. It was good. You know what? Before we do, let me, Miss Bernice. You know I can't. I gotta.
Miss Bernice.
Hey y'all. Hey. I love Miss Eve, but she was totally, bless her little heart. But Letitia knows exactly what she's doing. She's been trained by the best Wanda. And unfortunately, it's gonna shoot her in the foot when she's gonna look up one day and Marsau gonna be gone.
Miss Bernice, you got a TV or something in the background going there. We can hear it.
And she gonna look up and Marsau, he only gonna take so much and he's gonna be gone. When I saw the scene with Martell and his mother, he didn't even hug his mama. His mama cried. Did he hug his mama and say, "Mom, I'm sorry. I want to try to do better"? He didn't do any of that. So that further goes and let me know that you have no emotional context with anybody. If it ain't about you, it don't matter. When Mel called Letitia woman to woman and said, "Well, I want to discuss what your mama said," my mom don't sound like my mama. Yes, it do. But you so codependent on your mother that you can't see the nose in front of your face. And Miss Wanda, the only ones who's gonna get Miss Wanda straight is if her mother's still living, or if her grandmama or her great aunt or somebody who grew up with her is gonna have to check her. None of them women gonna be able to do that. And next week, I can understand why Mel would come at Letitia. I'm tired. You keep saying all this stuff. Okay, you talked about my marriage. I'm gonna talk about yours. Let's go. And Letitia gonna be grown enough to stand up, or she not. And we know she not. So, because Letitia is the most immature out of the group. They're trying to teach her to be a woman, and she don't want to be a woman. She still want to be the child. So, you play with kids stuff. You got kids consequences. Simple as that.
That's true. Absolutely.
But that chitlin juice, that was good. That's when I fix my plate. Chitlins on my plate by themselves. It's not touching nothing else on my plate. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's not even coming to the same house as me. Just burn the whole don't want no parts of it. Yeah.
You know what? That's how Marsau could have explained sanctioning to Wanda. Maybe she
Exactly.
would have understood
She would have
that. She would have
understood then.
understood
She would have understood then. Because
we
Wanda,
got our food on the compartment plate, and you over here on the other
exactly.
plate.
Exactly. Exactly. Because Miss Wanda is Miss Havisham from Great Expectations. She would hurt so bad that that's all she know. And I'm sorry, if those kids are her foster kids, ain't nowhere in the heck they would be in a household with her, because she's going to teach them the same thing that she know, to be conniving, cause ruckus, and be deceitful.
Yeah,
Because
the tone that underwrote that to me sounded like that was a family thing. Like maybe a family member is on drugs or something, and Miss Wanda had to take the children.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think the state just gave her no other kids. I think
I heard. Ooh,
I think that's a little auntie or cousin or somebody that got a
right.
little overwhelmed, and the family. You know how we ain't gonna let the kids get in the
Go
system.
into the system, right?
Don't give them to Wanda. It's better than the system. Theoretically.
But hey, I have my holy oil, my sage, my crucifix, everything at the door. Hold up. Hail Mary, full of grace. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Okay, you can come through the door now.
All right, Miss Bernice, girl. Okay.
But you guys have a great night.
You too, Miss Bernice.
And I will see y'all tomorrow.
Yes, my love.
Okay. Bye.
Dr. EVA is just clarifying something in the chat. She says, oh my gosh, yes, I have watched the show from the beginning. You guys need to understand that a difference of opinion, a difference of how you view the show, doesn't mean someone's incorrect. We all are entitled to our own opinion, and we see things through different lenses, and it's okay. It doesn't mean you didn't watch the show. We're just watching the show through different lenses. All right, you guys, let's wrap things up. I miss Bishop.
Yep. We needed a man's perspective on Martell and his telling.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Pray for him.
Pray for him. Mega Million, thank you so much for the super chat. Tisha uses Wanda to say what she is scared to. I think so. Absolutely. Yeah. Mirage Bond, thank you so much for the super chat. Family, I'm telling y'all, they're gonna have to start with children's counseling. These babies ain't got it all upstairs. All right, y'all. Schoolboy, how can the people find you?
You can find me on my YouTube channel at school_boy. You can also find me on Twitter at school_boy, which I'm finna get up into this Married to Medicine, because I didn't forget the aunties. I'm into the Married to Medicine tonight to see what's going on over there. And Monica, I hope y'all review it tomorrow.
Not tomorrow, but Tuesday. We're on it. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, y'all gonna do it on Tuesday? Okay.
Yes, definitely. And
then you can find me on Instagram at school_boy_2021.
Yep. Definitely go follow Schoolboy. Sister Gia, thank you so much. She forgives me for not liking Kimmy. I appreciate that. I do. I really do. Plaz, how can the people find you?
Hey, y'all can find me over on Instagram, at scared_of_beautiful, and here on YouTube at Scared of Beautiful, just spaces, no periods.
All right. Definitely go follow Plaz. We're a family here, guys. And I want the best for everyone on this panel. And I see how everyone's growing, and it makes me happy, because guess what? When I share my platform and everyone grows and everyone's blessed from it, it comes back to me tenfold. Okay, that's what life's about. Loving on each other, being a family, genuinely loving on each other, and helping everybody, and Plez and Schoolboy, the way you give back and the advice you share on your platforms and the personal stories that you share, it impacts people. It touches people on a deep kind of way. I see the comments and it makes me so happy, Thank y'all. I love you guys.
It does. To like we've said before, publicly and privately. Thank you very much for having this platform, allowing us to have great conversations. Like we
Yeah.
always say, it's like the family reunion or sitting around at the table. And I think a lot of us have the same spirits and the same hearts of wanting to help others. We've been through our own struggles and traumas, and anything that we've learned, like I'm a big person about paying it forward, whether that's some professional knowledge I have, whether that's personal knowledge I have, and just growing and getting better together in life. That's what life is about. So I'm glad to see that there are other people out there who enjoy and want to go on that same journey as well. It's good. That means we got some good things to look forward for, hopefully, for our community. Better, more healed relationships in families and in everything moving forward. That's what it's about.
Amen.
Being better than building on what our ancestors gave us and being better. When you didn't know any better, you couldn't do it, but now we know better. So let's do better for our children and our spouses and families going forward.
Love on each other. That's all it boils down to. Love. Genuinely love on each other. We got another super chat here. Mirage, thank you so much, my love. Once I get my shirts from Koki and Schoolboy, I'll be doing a video of all Black owned businesses I support, and I'll be dropping all cards and links. All right. Yes, I love that. Yep. Support Black businesses and support good business too. If it's a white business, you can support it if they're good. If they're good people, support them as well. Okay. We don't discriminate. Love comes in all shapes and forms and all colors. Okay.
And even if you give us terrible, I mean, the good outweighs the bad for me. So anybody that sits there and they comment on something and they say, you know what, I've had so many people say that I gave them strength to come out to their family, or parents have said, you know what, you taught me something. Maybe I do need to have that conversation with my kids. That's all I ever want to do, is give y'all that genuine love and teach that it don't have to be like that. We don't have to be negative. We don't have to hurt each other. We can correct the things that we have went through in our past. We can be better. We don't have to repeat everything our parents did, because sometimes a lot of things that our parents were taught, it was bad. It was toxic. They shouldn't have done that. But when their parents didn't know no better, they just go with the flow. So we can always be better and learn to be better. And I appreciate it. Like I said, I tell you all the time, I'm not here to be famous. I don't care to be famous. I don't care about the money. I don't care about nothing. As long as it's helping someone, that's what I care about, and educating someone, because I learn every day from the panel in some way.
Absolutely. Victoria Space, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you. Thank you. I'm just happy God healed us all enough to bring together this panel at this stage of the game in our life, where we can mesh and we can understand and appreciate, each other's likes and dislikes, our differences. I'm just grateful for it. I prayed for this. I honestly prayed and asked God because it's one thing to be in the gossip game, right? It's hard, because at one point, let me tell you, I've had the blog 8 years. I was feeling conflicted, because after a while, those stories can be so draining. My goodness. Jim Edmonds, the baseball madam, I broke that story. And that was a draining story. It took a lot of energy out of me. And at one point I was thinking, do I really want to be in this business? Because it's a lot. It really, really is. And watching his masturbation tape, it is just a lot. While his wife was in the hospital pregnant, having a baby, it took a lot out of me. And I said, Lord, I like the industry. I want to stay in it, but help me do good. And I'm going to tell you something. This panel, being here on YouTube, has birthed something very, a fire in me. It has brought me back, because the stories and the feedback that I get from people thanking me and thanking the panel for helping them get through the pandemic. When Dr. EVA comes on and she gives her counseling and her advice, Ples and her legal advice, Schoolboy and all your stories and your intelligence, the bishop. Oh my God, let me tell you something. I'm in love. Okay. Everyone, you can find me here. I reside on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. And if you're already subscribed to the channel, go on and bang that notification bell. Teacups, thank you for tuning in tonight. We love you all. Mods, as usual, thank you for holding down the chat. Everyone that sent in a super chat or a cash app, thank you so much for helping us keep the lights on. I love you all, and I want y'all to stay safe and be blessed. All right? Have a good night. Bye.